Thanks, Kristen. In other news, Frank James, the suspect in Tuesday's New York City subway attack, ordered to be held without bail during his first court appearance. Prosecutors argued James had the means to carry out additional attacks. Meanwhile, James' attorney requesting his client undergo psychiatric treatment while in custody, but the judge did not rule on that request. Here's ABC's Aaron Katursky with the latest.
Frank James, the suspect in Tuesday's violent rampage on a New York City subway train, made his first appearance in a Brooklyn federal courtroom. He's charged with violating a law that prohibits terrorist and other violent attacks against a mass transportation system.
The government will prove, among other things, that James traveled across state lines in order to commit the offense.
The assistant U.S. attorney, Sarah Wink, said in court the defendant's attack was premeditated. It was carefully planned, and it caused terror among the victims and our entire city.
Initial press and police reports in cases like this one are often inaccurate. Mr. James is entitled to a fair trial, and we will ensure that he receives one.
Authorities said James boarded the Manhattan-bound N train during the morning commute, detonated 2 smoke grenades, and began shooting. In the chaos that followed, police said James simply boarded the next train and emerged from the subway 1 stop later. From there, he disappeared into the crowded city. The 62-year-old was taken into custody Wednesday after an intense multi-state manhunt.
We used every resource at our disposal to gather and process significant evidence that directly links Mr. James to the shooting.
On Wednesday, he effectively turned himself in, calling the NYPD and saying, "I think you're looking for me." James is now behind bars, but the investigation is still underway.
They want to be certain they have every bit of evidence, conclusive evidence, that Frank James is the man who did this. And they want to be absolutely certain that no one else is involved. So it's a very active investigation.
Police are still trying to establish a motive, poring over social media posts, including one the day before the shooting that said, "I wanted to kill people. I wanted to watch people die." Aaron Katursky, ABC News at Brooklyn Federal Court.